There we go. What are you dancing to?
I'm happy.
Oh, why are you
We got
happy?
it because we've got into a rhythm, baby.
See, now you're gonna jinx it.
I'm not jinxing. I'm just saying. Lately, we have been consistent.
Hmm.
We've been doing this. I'm Leroy. That's Michael. We're the Retrying channel, a Nerdy by Nature Productions, and we're here to talk some nerdy stuff.
So in the year the world ends, we're finally
Hey,
consistent. All right, there we go. Cool. We did it when it counted. All right, great.
yep. So what are we talking about, Michael?
I mean, this was your topic, sir. I don't know the future of video games. Are they going to be exclusive? What's going
Well, I,
on? Can
well,
is, is,
I
is the
guess.
are the console wars back? Console wars back? I don't know.
Well, here's that's a. It's funny you mentioned that because we've been talking about a lot of stuff, and and we've been reporting on the news. Some of it's been kind of doom and gloom, and I was like, let's get back to talk about gaming and what excites us. And so I saw the story of PlayStation is pulling back from putting their games on PC. Then Microsoft is with Xbox saying they're going back to consoles. They announced Project Helix, and
Well, what they said is they're going back to the basics. So I don't know what that means.
so they announced Project Helix, and they said they're going in the direction of the same direction, I might add, of their console being a high end console slash PC.
Hmm.
And I think it's very interesting. They're not really changing what Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer said going forward. And I just,
Yeah, I think to add to that, I'm sure they've spent millions, maybe billions of dollars in research on this console. So I don't think there was a way where they were going to be like, oh, whatever console they were working on, we're not doing anymore.
mhm.
So I feel like at some point, like we've already done the research. Let's go ahead and get it out and see if we can make some lemonades out of lemon here.
Here's my
Lemonade.
question. Can you, because this is what I'm wondering, because I'm trying to remember who said it. There was a, there was a conversation online a couple of months back that that consoles, I don't want to say are dying, but they're not growing. The
Hmm.
console market is not growing as far as consumers, more people buying consoles. There's a lot of factors that goes into that. People buying everything digitally, people not playing games on consoles, playing games on their phones, the explosion of PC gaming, and somebody, and I'm trying to remember who was said, the only way for consoles to grow is that we all agree and have this treaty that we all make one console and we make games for that one console.
Hmm.
Like we built, like everybody agrees, puts their weapons down, kind of like a nuclear proliferation agreement, and everybody just makes games for it. Kind of like what we did when we decided that VHS was the standard, or versus beta, or what we did when Blu-ray and HD DVD came out. One one out, and then everybody made their own version of that player, and everybody made movies that would play on that player, and that's how we grew the DVD or movie market. My question is, can you put the genie back in the bottle once you've gone and made your games playable for other people?
I think the short answer, well, I think it's too early to tell. I think we don't have a case of where that's been successful so far.
Pause. I'm asking for your opinion, and then I want you to go into that, like why that's your opinion. Do you think it can be done? Like, what's your personal opinion? Just of
Yeah, it can be done. You just
because
have to have the right games.
the reason why I say that is, as much as I have railed against Nintendo and their practices, Nintendo's like, if you want to play Mario, get your ass a Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I asked that. So continue. I apologize. I didn't mean to
Yeah, no,
interrupt.
I think it can be done. You just have to have the game library. Um, and I haven't read all of Jason Schreier's article where I
Mhm.
don't know if he was the first one to break it, talking about Sony going back to just releasing on the console and not PC. But a big part of that is if they were making money hand over fist in the PC market, they wouldn't be doing this.
Agreed.
So I think, and I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm sure the financial experts have said, "Oh, we can go back to just being on PC, and we won't lose so much money that it's going to kill us." Like if they were selling an additional 30 million units of something on PC, I think they'd be like, "Oh, well, we're fine. We can figure this out." Granted, they were selling stuff on PC, and I know it was good, but I don't think it was gangbusters, or at least it wasn't so monumental that they decided to stick with it.
So a lot of things happened. I'm agreeing with you, and a lot of people are in agreement with you that if they were making that much money in the PC gaming market, would we still be doing this? I posit you are correct, but I also posit, going back to that theory that I talked about, if you want to move consoles, you cannot have your games everywhere. And I do believe when Microsoft, because I don't believe that was just Xbox on their own. I think Microsoft was like, you need to come up with some money. And I think the idea of putting those Xbox games everywhere and everything is an Xbox did come from Microsoft to make up the revenue that they were losing out because they weren't selling enough Xbox consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe Sony looked at that and said, when that ROG Ally came out, or Alloy, whatever, I forget what it's called.
The ROG
when
Ally
that,
X, yeah.
When that came out and people were playing PlayStation games on it, I do believe that played a factor in it. There's no way that Sony and PlayStation looked at that and was like, that's good for us going forward.
Yeah.
I do believe that played, like I think both can be true. I do believe that they could not have been making as much money as they wanted to. And they looked at and said, for our business model, if we are making games and we want to sell the next PS6, then we cannot have Joel and Ellie on an Xbox. We can't have, because here's the thing. If Microsoft is saying everything is an Xbox and Sony's like, well, we sell PlayStations. So if you want, like, I do think both things can be true. Here's my question. Do you think Microsoft is going to start doing that? After a certain point,
doing what?
Putting their games and pulling back some things and making them exclusive. Like after this potential deal going forward, and hold on, and here's the caveat. We do know that a lot of these deals that they made to get the Activision Blizzard deal passed, they had to make some deals. And there were certain games that we know will come to multiple platforms. I'm asking, after those deals, 2028, 2029, whatever the 10-year deal is for that, and then their own in-house games from their own studios, do you think they're going to start pulling back slowly? And you can still play your Steam games, but if you want to play these Xbox games, you got to buy this.
I think it will be case by case. I think Phil and Sarah were going to our future where, like you said, everything is an Xbox, so Xbox games can be played everywhere. I think now under Asher?
Yeah, Asher Sharma.
I think under Asher now, there is going to be a situation where certain games are exclusive and certain games are going to be everywhere. Because remember, games like Minecraft, which Xbox owns, that's going to continue to be everywhere because it's ubiquitous now. That's kids just know that it's like Roblox to them. They know that.
My kids know. Yeah, my kids know what Minecraft is.
So that'll be everywhere.
They're 5 and 3.
I think the big question is, when this Call of Duty current contract ends, will it go exclusive? I think that is a situation where that makes too much money. Like we were just talking about, if Sony was making so much money off of PC, they would keep it there. I think Xbox makes too much money having Call of Duty everywhere to take it exclusive.
Here's the question, because nothing is not done without market research.
Mm-hmm.
Is the money that they lose on selling that game on multiple platforms, as far as like PlayStation, do you make that up in console sales?
I don't think so, because hold on for a second. I don't think so, only because Microsoft has continued to be in third to low second place in all these divisions. Like 360, people were like, "Oh, 360, that was the heyday,"
Mhm.
and they've never really been to capture that since. So I say that to say, because they're not the market leader, I don't know. I almost think you need another system after this to be like, oh, this Xbox was good, so now I'm going to invest in the next Xbox. I don't know that people are going to invest in this Xbox like they want to make it be like, oh, I can only get Call of Duty here.
Here's my question. I think I agree with you to a certain extent. But go back to that thing that you said, the 360 was their heyday. And why was 360 their heyday? Because they had the games. They had Halo, they had Gears of War, they had Fable. Now all of those games are coming to PlayStation, and they want those people in playing those games, going through those stories. My question is, Call of Duty does have a 10-year lease from whatever that.
Something like that, maybe, yeah.
We know the next Xbox and PlayStation got pushed back because of the Ramageddon. So what I'm positing is this. I'm agreeing with you. So let's go to your scenario. This next Xbox comes out in 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Because I think it's at least 2 years away. Does the next Xbox after that, do you then start pulling your exclusives back?
Maybe.
Because here's the thing: the only way for you to sell those consoles is to have something that makes you say, "I want that." Now, the idea of having other launchers on there might save them. But going back to what you said, you have to have the games, and Microsoft has invested in so many studios. I think they can get away with it past this iteration. The next Elder Scrolls, the next Gears of War.
You're not talking about Elder Scrolls 6. You're talking about Elder Scrolls 7.
Fallout.
Elder Scrolls 6 is probably going to be multi-console.
Elder Scrolls 6 might be multi-console, but it also may not be on this generation console.
You talking about on the Project Helix, the one coming up?
Mm-hmm.
That would be wild.
Because I think it may come out on Project Helix, but I don't think Project Helix is coming out in the next 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that light. And here's the other thing: the window of console games being made has to get shorter, and they're not getting shorter; they're actually getting longer. So what I'm saying is, you may actually get that exclusivity if you stretch it out. The problem is, we lived in a generation where we got a Final Fantasy every year or every other year. We got certain games, so we grew up with these games. I want to say, I think it was Max Schofield from IGN who brought up a very good point. The kids who are coming up now, when gaming could reach them, are only getting one game in that iteration. So they're only getting one Final Fantasy. So they don't have continuous games in a franchise to hook them like it hooked us. And so that's why I said, I wonder, not this generation, can you shoot for that next generation? Do you have enough long-term goals to say, we'll eat this right now?
This is what Microsoft needs to do. They need to have a whole console generation. I guess that would be this upcoming one. They need a whole period where they don't step on any rakes.
Can't do it. Don't believe it.
Then I guess it won't happen. That's what we need from Xbox. Honestly, if they could have a whole period where they don't step on any rakes.
Any?
Any.
Because I'm gonna give them 3. I'm gonna spot you. It's like playing 21.
Because at one point I would have said, you know what? If they step on fewer rakes than Sony, that would be fine. But it doesn't matter now, because even if they step on fewer, they need to have a near spotless. I'll give them 1 rake, maybe.
Because here's the thing. It's funny you mentioned that. Sony shut down Bluepoint. It came out that they were pitching a Bloodborne remake, and that got pushed down in the news cycle because Microsoft and Xbox took Uncle Phil in the back pasture and shot him in the face like Old Yeller.
No, they took Sarah Bond and shot her like Old Yeller.
Nah, they like, well, they probably shot both of them. Like one of them got away. Like, you know what? You're right. They shot Sarah. You know what? I don't even want to say that out loud because that sounds. But they put one of them down, and then the other one saw what happened to that one, and he escaped.
Yeah, he got to run away.
He like saw that, and then the farmer came back, and then because I don't think they can do it because we've never seen them do it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I don't like. There's
Their past history is dictating their future. Maybe under Asha something's different, but I don't know. We got to see.
Even with Asha, she says she's been working for months to replace Phil. And that, like, there's no way you were working for months to replace Phil. And Sarah Bond put on LinkedIn a poll or a top, like there, that just doesn't make sense. And so that's why I said Sony continues to do things. And here's the other thing. As much as I love Sony PlayStation, you need another console. You need another company to force.
Competition.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we would not get PlayStation Plus the way it is without Game Pass. There's no way we get that.
Oh yeah.
You won't even get, and let's take it back.
You wouldn't have crossplay.
Boom.
If Microsoft wasn't trying to push Sony all the time to do it, and Nintendo and PC. Yeah.
Not only crossplay, you wouldn't get PC ports.
Yeah.
You would not get to play God of War, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima. You wouldn't get to play those games if it hadn't been for Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Because Microsoft and Xbox pushed Sony to put those games on PC. So let's take it back to PlayStation. They're going forward. They're not putting their games on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're trying to stave off basically like Idris Elba and Pacific Rim trying to stop the apocalypse? Because we know eventually that apocalypse is coming, where gaming is a niche, where it's not what it used to be. Are they trying to hold on? Because here's the thing. I don't think Nintendo's going anywhere. And I will say this, and I will keep saying this, as much as I trash Nintendo and Nintendo people, Nintendo is just chugging along.
Nintendo love right here, baby. Perfect time. The family computer, Famicom. There we go.
Because here's the thing. I hate you that you did that, because I have to eat crow. Because as much as if you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. I'm Leroy. That's Michael. I have been talking shit about Nintendo for years. And here I am with two little boys and my wife asking Michael repeatedly every 6 months, should I buy a Switch too?
And I keep telling you need to buy it before they raise the price.
And here's the thing. When my wife, I'll give you guys a little insight. When my wife was having a hard time mentally, one of her best friends let her borrow her Switch. We've had it for almost a year. And Katie played it for a while. Yeah. And I'm like, where is that thing? Because we got to give this thing back to this lady. Yeah. She was playing Switch games. And so I crapped on Nintendo but their business model works. They are the clear market number one, because they have games you can only play. And let me tell you, Nintendo is litigious.
Yeah.
They will come for you. Nintendo are gangsters.
Yeah.
You think the mafia, the Nintendo will hurt you. And so I say all that to say, do you think Sony is looking at Nintendo, looking at Xbox, looking at Steam, and saying the only way for us to save ourselves is to just say F Steam, F PC, and let's keep these games in-house?
I mean, I think they're and at one point maybe there was a thought that, we can convince PC players to get a PlayStation by putting a few games on PC, and they're like, we'll go to PlayStation. And I've seen so many people, like the PC master race, the people who really believe in PC, That's all they need. They don't need a dedicated console. Now, some people have both. Like I have a console and a PC. You have a console and a PC. But for
No,
a lot
no.
of people,
I got this
okay,
laptop
okay, fair enough.
that you will hear the fan in about 30 minutes
Yeah,
because
I have a console and a PC. A lot of people do, but a lot of times for people who are dedicated to PC, they're not necessarily going to shell out another, what is it, 600, and with the new console, $700, $800 now for a PC.
and who knows what that next
not
one's
PC, a console. So I think at one point they wanted that, but they realized no, let's just stick with our PlayStation ecosystem. And the one thing that consoles will have generally over PC is everybody has the same spec, so they know how to build for it. So for the most part, it won't crash as much as a PC will, and they're pretty much idiot proof in terms of.
You don't have to update any drivers. Right. I'm gonna be honest with you. As the older I get, the more that stuff is beyond me, and because I'm not in it anymore.
I have a 3090 Ti card in this, which when I bought it, it was state of the art. It's now not anymore because you're in the 50 series. There is a driver I need to update on my PC. I thought I did it. It still keeps popping up. I don't know how to do it. So I got to take it to my friend of the show, Steven Miano, That Computer Store. I'll take it to him and he'll fix it for me. But I got drivers now that aren't updated.
Do you plan? You have to update the drivers. Here's my question. Do you plan to update and keep this console and to keep building and keep updating it so that you can play updated games? Like, are you going to update this thing so that you can play GTA on it?
No, I bought the PS5 Pro to play GTA 6 because I had a PS5. I said, "Oh, let me get a Pro because I want GTA 6." I'll get it. Also, the way Rockstar's done in the past, they usually go to console before they come to PC. So I won't play it.
I think there's a year before it even comes to PC.
So if I want to play it soon, I got to play it on console, which is fine. And the 3090, I don't need I bought that at the time so that it would future-proof me for a while, but I don't need cutting-edge, blazing, fast graphics. So
you don't need to see the 3090,
huh? Yeah, I don't need all that.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't need 8K, 120 frames per second. My eyes aren't that good, so I'm fine playing games on standard fidelity and all that kind of stuff.
So out of the three, let's take Nintendo out of it because Nintendo has set themselves up where they're a walled garden. And if you want to play our games, you better come here. If you want to play Pokemon, you got to come here. Metroid, Mario. Who else am I missing?
I mean, you got Link, you got Donkey Kong, you got F-Zero, all kinds of stuff.
So if you want to play those games, you have to come here. Is Sony realizing that Nintendo was right?
Maybe. But the thing that also, when you say Sony, we always say because when you say Nintendo, you're always talking about a console. But Sony, they do other stuff besides consoles. Yes. You know, they got a TV business. Do they still make PCs and BIOS? Is that still a thing? Sony BIOS?
They still make laptops. So this is a. Oh no, wait. I was about to say this Sony. This is Samsung. Yes, they still make consumer electronics.
But yeah, I mean, they're diversified in other stuff. So I mean, their whole thing doesn't just rely on games like Nintendo.
True, but Sony is still in the PlayStation market.
Sure.
Unlike Microsoft, who at one point in time was asked to sell off Xbox, where they were like, nah, because here's the thing, and this is the question that a lot of people have and this is why I bring it up. Phil talked, I'm trying to remember the Microsoft CEO's name without butchering it or making myself sound that is actual word. Satya Nadella. Hold on 1 second, guys. Satya Nadella at one point in time considered selling Xbox, and Phil Spencer supposedly talked him out of it. So Phil Spencer's gone. I don't believe there's a market any time that Sony would sell off the PlayStation. They're still in the console making game. So
Sure.
that's why I said, do you believe that they're looking at it and saying, Nintendo was right? We need to shut this shit down, close ranks. If you want the next Last of Us, because that's what I think that's where they're going. The Last of Us 3, whenever it comes out, better buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, to go to that, you kind of touched on it earlier, the Armageddon thing of games. Because I was always under the impression, oh, they're just trying to grow the base they have, but it maybe is just like not even growing, just keeping the base you have and not letting them go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're not so much worried about. I mean, you always want to grow your business, but maybe they're just trying to keep the business they have, so you stay in the PlayStation ecosystem.
So it's funny you say that. I really wish you had watched. So there's a channel out there that I really want to shout out, and I'm on YouTube right now. Bomani Jones was on a podcast, a PlayStation, not PlayStation, sorry, a nerd podcast. Oh, here they are. For All Nerds TV, Bomani Jones was on it. And he talked about something he's talked about in the past, where he said they talked about growing your followers, growing your viewers, basically growing your business. And he's like, some of us in this podcast game, we're at a point where you followed us through years, you've grown up with us. So the same stories that I tell, you already know. So you follow us. Same thing with people here. There's a handful of people who know us from our past channel, who know us here. Appreciate y'all. Love you. That's what Sony's trying to do. They're not trying to grow the business anymore. They're trying to keep the people they already got. And they're not only trying to keep the people, they're trying to keep that next generation of people who like me. My kids are going to know what a PlayStation is. Because hopefully I'll still be around to introduce them to it. And so that's one of the things Bomani was talking about. As you grow, you lose people because their tastes change. That's what I think Sony's trying to do. They're trying to keep the people that they've already got. And that idea of sending games to PC was trying to grow that base to more people. But now Sony's like, man, I got to keep the people who love me for me. So let's look at the franchises Sony has that they want to keep in-house.
Okay.
Naughty Dog. What do they make?
They have The Last of Us. They have
Sucker. I'm sorry.
Whatever this Interstar Rock Battlestar Galactica.
The Heretic Paradox,
Something.
whatever.
Sure.
Which I will buy that day one. Not even gonna lie to y'all. Don't care what it.
I don't know if they care about Uncharted anymore.
I think they do.
Maybe.
I think they do. I think they're working on another Uncharted because that would be dumb not to. Who else? So let's go over to Sucker Punch.
Gosh, what is Sucker Punch? Oh, Sucker Punch is Tsushima, because I was thinking of, man, give me back my my Sly Cooper.
You know what? Here's the thing, and not to, again, you know who we are. Let's go down this tangent. One of the reasons why Nintendo has been able to sustain who they are and grow new customers is because of platformers, family-friendly games.
Mm-hmm.
I love running a sword through a motherfucker, but that is not something I can play with my kids. Sony, through PlayStation, has to get back to that. So they need Sly Cooper. They need Ratchet and Clank. They need Crash Bandicoot. Sackboy. What is it? Little Big Planet. They need those games. So Astrobot. It is was it Astrobot? Astro Boy?
Astrobot Studio was Sobi or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Game of the Year game 2 years ago? Because it wasn't last year. It was 2024, right?
Something like that, yeah.
2024. You need more of those games. So
Team Asobi. Sorry, I was saying Studio Asobi, Team Asobi, but yeah, go ahead.
So okay, so Housemarque, Soros,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the next game that comes out. Ben Studios, whatever game they're working on. I would like a Days Gone sequel, but we've been told that's not happening.
You better go ask Xbox for that.
No comment.
And just say, hey, why don't y'all make it? Why not?
Santa Monica Studios.
We got God of War.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And so we know we're having the remake. No one knows what the remake, how that's going to play. We know that we're going to have another God of War where they go. Did they say they're going Egyptian gods or?
None of that's been confirmed.
I know that's the
We don't know.
speculation.
Yeah.
But that will stay console exclusive. Eventually, Bloodborne will get remade because the reporting is Bluepoint wanted to do a Bloodborne remake, and the original creator and I'm blanking on the name. They make Armored Core,
FromSoft.
Elden Ring. FromSoft said no.
Right.
So let's talk about FromSoft, whatever that is. I think they have enough that they can keep these players from defecting.
Yeah. Well, so in your mind, you think they're worried that they would lose players because they're not keeping the franchises where they are? Yeah.
I think they're bleeding players, and I think they're bleeding players to PC and essentially Xbox. Because if I can, because
I don't know if they're bleeding players or Xbox.
Let me say why. Because if Xbox is saying everything's an Xbox, now they may not be saying it now because they done took Sarah Bond out and did what they did. But this new Project Helix is a PC and an Xbox. And if Sony and PlayStation are putting their games on Steam and on PC, why do I need to buy a PlayStation? So in a roundabout way, they are worried about Microsoft. They are worried about Xbox because I could have the best of both worlds because Xbox is telling me whatever this high-end PC Frankenstein that they're cooking up, I can still play PlayStation games.
Well, I understand what you're saying. In my mind, I feel like Sony is so far ahead of Xbox that they're not worried. I think they're more worried about stepping on their own rakes and losing their bag because of something they did as opposed to a win that Microsoft did.
Okay. So here's the games. Here's some of the games, and I forgot. Hold on. I was trying to come up with a list, but my computer is betraying me. So I already said Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War Ragnarok. Marvel Spider-Man games came on PC. Marathon is multi-platform. Helldivers, which I think Helldivers should be multi-platform. But again, PlayStation messed that up with saying you have to have a PlayStation account. And I think that
Didn't they walk that back though?
They did, but I think that was their first step of forcing people into the PlayStation ecosystem, and that blew up in their face.
Sure.
And I think that was one of the first steps. But that's what I'm saying. In a roundabout way, PlayStation had to recalibrate because they were like, we're not getting these people to play and buy these consoles. Meanwhile, Xbox is over here saying, we don't care if you buy the console. We just want you to play the games through Game Pass. But the problem is, and here's the thing that nobody really is talking about except for the nerds. One of the things that Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer needed for their everything is an Xbox is that store needed to allow them, everybody's store did not allow them to put a store on those phones. So Apple, Google, Samsung, all of those people take what, 30% when you
Something
sell
like that, yeah.
when you sell it when you and all of those in-app purchases, they wouldn't let you do it. So that's where Xbox failed. They needed a world where that happened for them. And in the meantime, that's where they failed. But Sony through PlayStation is like, eventually that walled garden is coming down. They're going to lose the monopoly. Eventually, Apple is no longer going to be able to steal 30% from everybody for every app and in-game purchase.
Yeah.
When that day comes, Xbox is like the money. What's the? I'm trying to remember the meme. Is that Dave Chappelle when he's Diddy? He's doing this, and then the money. Yeah. Eventually, Xbox that's going to happen. Did PlayStation see that and say that is our competition long term? So we need to stop this now. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I understand. I just think Sony's like, man, we got this. Because of another thing we haven't talked about yet. We said the next PlayStation is going to be $700, $800
at least.
The next Xbox maybe $900, $1,000 if it's a PC and a console.
Because
they have said it is a premium device,
and they have not backed off of that.
Right.
Sarah Bond said,
I mean, that's gonna be a lot. I guess we'll see whatever the Steam box or machine, whatever that is called, is going to be. How much that's going to be?
They have shown that recently.
Yeah, we just don't have a price for it yet. I don't think, right?
Because here's the thing, and this is where I kind of feel like Xbox ain't shit for this. I have criticized Sarah Bond. You can go back and look at what I've said. But Xbox did her dirty. And here's why I said they did her dirty, because Xbox, they just switched out brown women. They just switched out Sarah Bond for Asha. Because here's the thing, they haven't really changed their messaging.
Yeah.
They haven't. The next Xbox, Project Helix, is still an Xbox that's going to play PC games. It's still going to be able to launch multiple launchers. How that's going to work with Windows, I don't know. But it's still going to be able to play Epic games, according to the reporting. It's still going to be able to play, GOG, Steam, along with Game Pass. Sarah Bond said the same thing. There's still going to be a high-end console. Sarah Bond said the same thing. To me, it was they fired her and got rid of Phil to look like they changed the messaging to buy themselves time. They're going to see how this works. And then if it doesn't work, Microsoft Gaming, here we come.
What do you mean Microsoft Gaming, here we come?
Fold Xbox, and then it's just called Microsoft Gaming. They get out of the hardware business.
Oh, okay.
If this hot take, say it right here. If this console does not work, they're going to just be a publisher.
Okay.
And everything that they make will be, they'll still make, I think they're out of the console business.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they make so much. The thing
Am I
before
crazy?
the $69 billion acquisition of Activision,
Am I
even though
crazy?
Microsoft was in third place or whatever or behind Nintendo and
Mhm.
Sony, they were still profitable. Like year over year, they were making money for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Um, but now that money is not going as far because of the $69 billion acquisition.
Dad saw his credit card and was like, "What did you just buy?"
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Dad
much.
saw you were using the credit card to buy Starbucks and a couple of Happy Meals here and there. And then Dad saw that purchase on that credit card for a 3D printer that was thousands of dollars and was like, "What did you use my credit card for?"
Hmm.
So, um, so we've been talking about 40 minutes. Here's my question. What if Sony and PlayStation are going to go exclusive? We know you're still going to buy yada yada yada. What do you think makes that worth it to buy a PS5?
PS6.
Thank you, PS6. No, PS6 and PS7.
Like you're asking me what game do I need to have to buy that system?
Yes, for going forward. In other words, what versus buying? Because here's the thing: for you to buy a PS6 and a PS7, that's over whatever Nintendo cooks up. That's over whatever Microsoft and Xbox cooks up, and that's over whatever Valve cooks up. What game and what franchises keeps you in that ecosystem?
Well, I mean, the same stuff we're doing now. I mean, if they continue to make the God of Wars that I want to play, I'm there. If they're making the Ghost series, whatever that's going to be from Sucker Punch, I'm there.
I think you got to
I would like if we went back to
go bigger.
Infamous. Honestly,
Okay,
I
that's
would
what
be,
I'm.
I
That's
would
what I'm
be
talking about.
happy to
Yeah.
happy if Infamous would come back. But I mean, that's so far away down the line. I don't know
See,
because I don't know that I would. As of right now, I have no desire to buy a Project Helix Xbox. But again, I don't know what the games are going to be.
that's my point. What did what do they need to develop? What do they need to bring back? Because my thinking is, does code for me, it's got to be a Metal Gear. Bring back Resistance. Bring back Killzone. Bring back SOCOM. Now, this is for me. Bring back SOCOM. Bring back Sly Cooper. Little Big Planet. I mentioned that earlier. That's what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
What for me? You bring a Killzone back, I'm there. That's the reason why I bought the PS4. What is
For
it?
the game that
Shadowcom?
did look like the game they showed off.
Still bought it.
Okay.
Still bought it. Still played it. Enjoyed it. Um, Resistance: Fall of Man. You mentioned Infamous. That's what I'm talking about. What does it have to going forward to keep this generation to make people get it buy into this ecosystem?
Yeah, I think you keep making the games you're making. Honestly, the issue is we're thinking about it with our old 40-year-old brains, and we
That is
need
true.
somebody who is a 10-year-old to be like, oh, I just need a new, prettier Fortnite, and I'll keep playing. Where can I play the latest Fortnite? That's all I need.
Do you- so
If they can figure out a way to make Fortnite be the best on their system, there you go.
so I guess my question is, you don't think that they have to develop anything? They just got to keep maintaining.
Yeah, I mean the issue is we get more and more powerful systems, but
Mhm.
games can only look so
Yeah.
better than what they are before. Like the leap between what PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 did is again not as generational as the leap between 3 and 4, 2 and 3, and 1 and 2, that kind of stuff. So I don't need games to look any better personally. And again, I've already said I don't need the 8K 120 frames per second. So I don't need the games to look any better. I still think Red Dead Redemption 2 looks fantastic. You just give me games look like that all the time, I'm good. having said that, I could be blown away because when GTA 5 came out, I thought that looked great.
Mhm.
But now GTA 6, I'm like, man, these people look kind of
Real.
real.
Yep.
You squint your eyes like those are real people.
Yeah, it's so real that there's a guy who's suing. Is like, that's me.
Yeah,
I committed those crimes.
right.
I guess I was wondering, do you think that they have to dig into their bank to bring back some of this stuff to make it worthwhile? And you're like, nah, they just keep maintaining what they're doing. Because I
Yeah,
think they,
because
I
I don't
think
know
they,
that. Sorry, go ahead.
I think they need to bring back stuff. I think they need to reinvest because my thinking is that Call of Duty bill is going to come due. If Microsoft and Xbox still want to make consoles. Now, if they don't, you're good. But if they see that they can still make consoles, in order to make those consoles sell, you need exclusives, which Sony and PlayStation have to consider. We need our own Call of Duty
Hmm.
because not to throw real world. Right now, there is a conflict going on. There's a war going on. And the Gulf states who are surrounding Iran relied on the US for security. And now they're like, oh, this isn't what we signed up for. I think that same thing, analogy may not fit. I think that same thing is what PlayStation is thinking. We have Call of Duty for right now. What happens if the business changes and Xbox says, we want to make this exclusive? Fuck the money. We got to sell these consoles.
Hmm.
What does PlayStation have? They need a defense for that. And the only way for that to happen is to build your own franchises.
I think the issue is they saw people weren't playing those other games. So I don't know that bringing those franchises matter so much as creating something new, whatever that is.
True. True.
Because we'll see. I mean, we brought back Marathon, right? And granted, Marathon just came out, but I don't know if that's going to have staying power.
True, but that's also one of those things of that's live service. So that's always a crapshoot. We just saw High Guard bite the dust.
Yeah,
Was
but
it-
Call of Duty is like a live service now.
Yeah, but Call of Duty is different. It's ingrained. It's all Call of Duty is like a Fortnite. It's ingrained. Call of Duty, PUBG. There's certain ones that made it, and I think that's where Call of Duty is. It's just part of the culture. Like everybody plays a Call of Duty once. Well, we've been going for about an hour. I'm trying to think. Nintendo, keep doing what you're doing. PlayStation, do better. Bring back all those franchises we talked about. Xbox, no more rakes.
No more rakes. Yeah.
Xbox, from now, every year, no more rakes. That's literally all I got for you. Because, good Lord,
It has not been a pretty sight.
it has not. So as we wrap up, what got you through the week, man?
Still playing Dave the Diver, loving that. I just found the Sea People. Actually, I found the Sea People for a while. I went to the glacial area. People played the game, know what that means. Upgrading my dive suit and all that stuff.
Not playing it, don't know what that means.
There, well, it ain't for you. That's fine.
No, I
Nice.
do want to play it, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Scrubs is back. Forgot how much I miss Scrubs.
That's right, Scrubs is back.
Man, Bill Lawrence, man. I'm sure he's made a bomb, but I don't know what it is. Bill Lawrence just makes hits. He had Ted Lasso. He had Scrubs. I'm pretty sure he's involved with Shrinking. He has this new show on HBO called Rooster, which I like. He makes a good
Steve Carell.
Yeah. Bill Lawrence makes a good. I think he did Cougar Town. He makes a good show.
Me and my wife like that show.
Yeah. What about you?
Paradise is back. Me and my wife are watching it. Shailene Woodley is going to win an award for her performance. And Sterling Kane Brown should win one as well. I will say this. They have stepped up their game in Paradise from the first season as far as acting and stakes. I believe that they stepped up their game. Like, I think that first season of Paradise, they were like, end of the world, cool. And the initial shock, they did not do a good job of, like, making you care. You kept coming back for, like, what's the next thing that happens? I will say 5 episodes in, they made me and my wife care. Like, they made us, like, I felt things. So Paradise is what got me. Also, comics are back, bitches.
Okay.
So this is a comic. This is called the Comics the Magazine. It's the first issue. So for those of you who read comics or who used to read comics, you'll remember Wizard Magazine. This reminds me of Wizard. There's actually kind of like a, how did we get here? A brief history of fanzines. So I love comics. I love reading. I love books. I saw people online talking about it. I go every Wednesday, if I can, if I'm not out of town, to pick up books. Comics are what have gotten me through. We talked about the conflict in Iran. Comics are what has helped me get through this, and picking up this magazine and reading comics has been a delight. There are ads in here for like CGC. There's ads in here for books that are coming out. There's a art school, how to draw pouches, because that was a big deal in the 90s. What else is here? A couple of interviews. It really is like, it really reminds me. And of course, the first episode is about Absolute Batman, which a book that I'm reading, very good. It just really, like, everything is old is new again. And that has been the comics have been one of the bright spots. The Richland County Library, our local library, has a plethora of books. And I've been checking them out. I've reached my limit. I probably said this before. And taking the boys to get books has been exciting. So that's what's gotten me through the week. And some of these festivals, get outside, go touch grass. You went to the Doko Wood Festival. I showed up after you did. There's the Reedley Festival coming up that I'm really excited about. That's hosted by the Richland County Library. The Irish Festival was last weekend.
You're saying this stuff like we only reach people in Columbia.
No. What I'm saying is I'm bringing all this stuff up to say there's stuff going on in whatever community you live in like this. So you live in Montana. If you live in New York, North Carolina, Georgia, California, there are things out there that you can get out and do that's going to keep you going. So you don't have to be inside all the time. And that's what I'm talking about. Those things kept me going. The Wood Festival, taking my boys, and then reading books and going to the library afterwards was fun. So that's what got me through the week.
Cool.
So go ahead and wrap this up, Michael.
You know who we are. That's Leroy and Michael. We Try and Channel, a Nerdy by Nature production. We've been consistent. We'll see how consistent we can be. Maybe next week after this will be live. We are actually taping this because this Saturday I will be celebrating my 1-year wedding anniversary. So I will not be in town.
Oh, congrats. Everybody
not telling y'all where I'm going in case y'all meet me somewhere, but I'll tell y'all afterwards. But
I'll find out. I'll tell y'all in the comments. Don't worry. I'll find out. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So, yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats, man. I'm glad y'all made it. Hey man, marriage is hard.
It
I'm
is.
like, I told you, I'm like, there are days I'm like, we still together?
It's different.
Like my in-laws, so my in-laws celebrated their 50th in February. My parents will celebrate their 50th in August. And so we're at the dinner for my in-laws, and my I asked my mother-in-law the question. It's like, did y'all ever go to a wedding or somebody came to your wedding, you were like, they weren't gonna make it? And my brother-in-law was like, y'all. And me and Katie looked at each other like, hey man, this shit is hard. like, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're good. Like, but it's like, marriage is hard, and the fact that y'all made it a year, that should be an accomplishment that should be celebrated. So, congrats.
Thank you.
Because I know you
Yeah.
do all the work in that relationship.
We're not. Don't put that out there.
I am. You know why?
She knows. She's
No.
not gonna believe anything you say. For one. But
No. Well, one, because she stole my gift and then passed it off that she bought it. So I'm
did.
always gonna come for her,
she did.
and she knows that.
Yeah, that's quite gangster. I love my
Although-
gangster food.
I do respect it. I do.
Yeah.
That was
All right, folks.
cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded indeed. That'll be it for us. We'll be back next week, either live or tape. We'll figure it out. But till then, peace.
Deuces.